Welcome to Physician Cognition's beta platform. We all know that diagnostic errors are too common. The rate of misdiagnosis is 10 to 30%, depending on the study. The reason an intelligent algorithm is so powerful is that most misdiagnoses are due to human cognitive errors that do not affect computers. Cognitive errors include premature closure, the number one cause of misdiagnosis, as well as other cognitive biases that are simply part of being human. How can we prevent such preventable errors? Well, we can let computers do what computers do best, and let medical professionals do what they do best. Once we combine the best of both worlds, we'll have made this world a better place. The inventor of Physician Cognition's technology, Dr. Vipindas Chengat, had an idea to build a core medical algorithm that could think and process information just like a physician, minus, of course, the bedside manner and the intuition. Over 2.5 years later, we've built that core. But to build something truly for the ages and to make the algorithm better and better every day, we realized there was no substitute for letting smart, experienced, innovative, and caring physicians add their expertise and feedback. It's very important to understand that feedback improves the system for you and everyone else, and that will help us to eliminate avoidable cognitive error. In the beta platform, you can log in using any of your social media credentials. If you've received an invitation from an existing user, you can create your own username and password. If you log in with one form of ID and try to switch to another, we'll connect your accounts. Let's log in with LinkedIn and go to the main page. On this page, you can choose the country that you are in. You can look at the electronic medical record. You can also print. Let's say the patient is experiencing a loss of consciousness. You need to choose the terms from the drop-down menu so that they're recognized. Otherwise, it won't work for you. Let's say the patient is 59 years old and male. You can choose duration. You can choose context, as well as various qualifiers. In this case, we'll choose one qualifier. At this point, you have the option of taking either a quick look for an initial differential diagnosis, or you can submit the above information to get the initial workup guide. We'll go ahead and do that for now. And you see there are already some questions to ask to begin to narrow down the diagnosis. And sometimes there are a couple of different screens of those questions. Now again, if you are in a hurry or would simply like to take a quick look, you can go up here and click this. If you want to select some of these items here, then you would click on Refine Differential to include those in the diagnosis. For now, let's take a quick look. And now we have the initial iteration of the differential diagnosis in the center and the workup guides on the right, as well as the inputs in the upper left and inferences on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, you find inferences. Here you see choosing wisely recommendations. You see some preventative measures regarding aspirin. In any of these cases, you can provide us feedback on the actual inference. And you can also assist the system with a translation into a language other than English. The guide at the top is a quick summary of the recommended signs and labs. If you have more time and would like to work more comprehensively, you can look at the True Closure Workup Guide below, which also includes symptoms. Now in the center, you see the possible causes. Now you see that neurocardiogenic syncope is in fact one of the top answers. There are a number of ways to give us feedback that will help us to educate the system. One of them is simply differential by differential. You can click a thumbs up sign. You can also provide us with more detailed feedback by clicking this, and you can choose items here. That applies to the particular differential. You can give us translation or synonym for the term. If anything about the differential seemed inaccurate to you, but you don't have much time, you can click on this thumbs down button just to let us know that there is an issue. However, an even more useful form of feedback is to actually specify whether you mean a cause or an inference or a medication, and to choose among different feedback options, and you can even enter a comment. You can almost instantly and permanently improve any differential for all users and for all time by sharing your expertise and your feedback. And you can access that either by Train the System or by this orange tab. From the workup guide, we can see one of the most unique and uniquely powerful features of the system, and that is the ability to continually pursue the final diagnosis. Here, let's choose a few additional symptoms. Let's say we have some Q waves. Let's also say the subject passed out while in the supine position. And then let's analyze the revised diagnosis. Now you see things have changed. In fact, what used to be the number one most likely diagnosis is now no longer even on the first page. Power users will also notice that there are a number of information sources on the screen. One, attached to each differential, is simply the information button, but you can mouse over and get a brief description, or you can actually click on the button and watch what happens. Here you have many sources of information. Perhaps an image is the most desirable. You might be able to find out how to take a sign or recognize a sign from YouTube. On the right are some additional forms of information under the labs. These links will take you to the CDC website. And again, here you have Google Images and YouTube. If you have questions or you'd like to provide us with information that does not necessarily fit into a feedback form, you can always choose to chat. In your profile, you can see the activity of yourself and other medical professionals who have been giving feedback. You can even look at the exact clinical scenario that inspired that feedback. Let's take a look at the feedback on the clinical scenario we've just been talking about. You click the magnifying glass, you get the feedback summary page, which tells you what it was about and who left it, that it was a feedback related to cause, and a comment on whether that was correct. Now here, you can click on View History to see the exact clinical scenario. And now you can see exactly what the other medical professional was commenting on. That's all for now. Thank you and good luck.